Hi, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching this video, or maybe you are currently listening it to from Spotify and so on. All right, I would like to say thank you very much. Okay, so if you watch my previous videos, right? So I talk about myself a little bit. How do I get anxiety? How do I think I got anxiety? And the journey, right? So, but if you see from whatever that I said, right, it's basically more on the negative side of it, right? You can see, like, you can't wake up, you just stay around in the room for 3 months, for example. I believe most of you that have this problem, this mental issue, you will have the same experience, right? For example, you're scared to going out, you don't want to do anything because you're scared you might die, and so on. So same goes if you have a depression, right? So you don't want to talk to people, you just don't want to go out, you don't want to go anywhere. So basically that give a very, very huge impact to you and to the circle around you, meaning your wife, your kids, your family, your friends. But as I mentioned, that is the negative impact of it. Okay? But if you start training your brain, training your mindset, right? Basically, anxiety disorders not only give you a negative impact, but you can see basically in a different perspective of life, right? Basically, they change you to be a better person, right? That's what happened to me, right? So with this anxiety disorder, when I look at a different angle, I saw a lot of improvement about myself compared to prior I got anxiety. I believe everyone, most of you that have this issue, you want to go back to the old you, right? But again, like I said, if you start to train your brain, to train your mind, right, to see a bright side of it, basically it changes you to be a better person. Okay? And again, I think I've told you this, right, on my previous episode. To train your mindset, to train your brain, it takes effort, consistent and persistent, right? So you cannot expect to do it one day and then you get it, right? It might take weeks, it might take months, right? So it depends. So that's one thing. So you need to, and as I mentioned previously, it's better that you do small step, baby step, but you do it consistently rather than you doing, like, a lot of things, a big step, a huge step at one time, and then you don't see any different, and then you give up. Alright, so better that slowly, but you keep doing it. Okay? So the first thing that how anxiety changed my life is the way I look at life itself. Okay, the life perspective. Sorry. So if you watch or if you listen to my previous episode, you see that one of the factors that I think contribute to why I got anxiety disorder is because of I'm kind of like too ambitious. Okay, so when I want things, I will work for it, right? So basically, more or less, I can say it's self-centered, right? So I work hard because of more money, all right? And then if you have health anxiety like me or hypochondriac, you always scared of death, all right? But the thing is, that's life. It's natural thing. It's happened to everyone. Okay? Any living thing will die eventually. Whether you like it or not, that's the end of us. But again, I know, I understand. When you just got anxiety or you still in the middle of battling it, right? It's very hard for you to accept that. I understand because I've been there and I've done that. So, like I said, you need to train your mind slowly. Okay, this is take consistent and persistent effort in order to get this. Slowly to accept the fact. Because of, you just cannot run away from it. Alright? Everyone will be gone. Alright? Either you like it or not, die is like the end journey of us. Alright? We just don't know when and where, but it will happen. Okay? So, previously, as I mentioned, the way I look life is all about me. I want more money, I'm scared of death, and so on. Alright? But after I manage to manage my anxiety, basically the way I look life is different. Okay, so previously I'm scared of death, right? I'm scared of any illness or sickness that I got, right? And then eventually will die because of that sickness, because of that cancer, for example. But now, instead of worrying when I'll be dead or what disease that will cause my death, now for me, the way I look at it is, because I know eventually we will die, right? So if I die, what did I leave? What did I leave to others? All right. What is my contribution to others? So this is one of it. All right. This is one of it. So I share my experience so that some of you don't need to going through hell that I've been through, or maybe your recovery process become faster based on whatever that I shared, for example. So maybe if I take 2 years, maybe you take 1 month because of what I shared, for example. So at least that's something that I left if I die, right? And as I mentioned in previous episode, I don't care if I don't get 100 viewers, even 10, I don't care. Because if at least, let's say there's 1 viewers, and then that 1 viewer from my sharing can have a quality life, that should be enough for me, all right? So like I said, at least if I can help others to get a quality life back, that makes me more than happy. Okay, so as I mentioned, but as I mentioned earlier, right? This one takes time. In order to train your brain, to train your mindset, it takes time. But yes, this is one of the things that anxiety changed my life, which is the way I look at life itself. Okay, and then the second one is self-love. Okay, so as I mentioned on my second episode, if I'm not mistaken, whatever it is, the first thing that you need to do is to accept, right? To accept the fact that you have anxiety, that you have depression. And then now, after you accept the fact, what is your plan on getting better or managing your anxiety or depression, right? But if you cannot accept it, then it's very hard, right? And then one of the things about self-love is like, sometimes you always bother about others, right? Without thinking about yourself first, right? Some people got anxiety because of they keep doing things for others and then sacrificing their own happiness. Yeah. So that's one of the things that's, whatever it is, love yourself first. And then, maybe you are the type of person that, you don't like to meet people, you don't like to talk very much, all right? It's fine. It's not an issue actually. But, when people keep talking about it and then you feel bad about that, and then it will affect your mind, right? And then you suddenly hate yourself because of that. But no, you shouldn't bother about that. Whatever it is yourself first, all right? You need to love yourself before anyone else. After you love yourself, then only you can love others, all right? After you help yourself, then only you can help others. Whatever it is, love yourself first, right? Because I read somewhere about this. It's easy for us to love someone because we only look at their good traits, for example, okay? But yourself, the good and the bad traits, right? But you cannot accept the bad. So, that's not right, right? Because that's yourself, right? Sometimes it's not wrong, right? For example, if you don't want to meet people, if you just don't like to talk to people, it's not wrong. So, but some things can be improved, right? I'm not saying that, if you like to rob a bank, keep robbing a bank. No. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm talking about your emotion and so on, right? Sometimes you just, if things can be improved, improve it. But if it's not, then just accept it, And as I mentioned, slowly but consistent, right? Then you will be there eventually. And one more thing about self-love that anxiety gave to me. Okay, previously, I don't really care about the time I eat. I don't really care about how many hours I slept because of, for me, I need to work in order to make more money, right? So sometimes I forgot all of that, right? I didn't eat on time. I sleep less than 8 hours and so on. So I didn't love myself. I didn't take care of myself. But since I got anxiety disorder, I started to make sure that I sleep at least like 7 to 8 hours. Okay, I eat on time. I started eating vegetables and fruit because previously I don't eat vegetables at all. So so this is one of the things that anxiety gives to me. I mean, loving myself, right? take a good care of myself, actually, right? And one more thing is like, previously I don't exercise at all, but after I got anxiety, I start exercising. I'm started doing mindfulness activities, for example, meditation, a breathing exercise, things like that. Because of, if I give love to myself, I love myself, then only I can love others. I take care of myself first, then only I can take care of others. Right? By doing that, I'm taking care of my mental health as well. Okay. And the next one, what anxiety give to me is actually self-development. Okay, yeah, because of this anxiety, I started reading a lot. I read a lot, doing a lot of research. For example, previously I might have no idea what is what is it about the chemical brain, actually, right? The brain chemical imbalance. I don't know about that, right? So, but because of the anxiety, I know a lot of, I read a lot, I do a lot of online courses, I do a lot of courses on, psychologies, how your brain works, how your brain and your body works together, the limbic system, how limbic system trigger your emotion, and then from this emotion, how it gives pain in your body, for example, things in your brain like amygdala, medulla oblongata, that kind of thing. Previously, if you ask me, I know nothing about it. But because of this anxiety, I started to read, and I understand a lot of things like, how your emotion work, how your brain work, and so on. Right? And other than that, I also listen to Tony Robbins, Robin Sharma, that kind of thing that can help me train my mind. Right? So it's like self-development, not only in self-help part, but on learning part as well. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of things that I learned just because of anxiety disorder. If I didn't get anxiety disorder, I might not know about all of this. Right? So that's one of the things that anxiety disorder gave me. Okay. So the last one, right, the last but not least, is be in the now. Okay, so if you have anxiety, you know that you keep thinking about, you thought that it will be happening, but it's not. Alright, for example, when I have anxiety, right, whenever I have been somewhere, for example, in my head, I thought it was a brain cancer, a brain tumor. And then I already think about so I don't want to go, I don't want to do chemo. If I die, how about my kids and so on and blah, 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 blah. But I don't even go to the doctor yet. You know what I mean? I think about the futures, but I don't even go to the doctor yet. So, I'm not in the now. So when you have anxiety, there's always things like this, right, happening in our mind. So, in order to be in the now, if let's say during the anxiety attacks or panic attack, as I mentioned in the previous episode, if I'm not mistaken, you need to do grounding and so on. Okay, that's during the anxiety. But prior to anxiety itself, I'm not even in the now. For example, when I spend time with my kids, I'm not even there. When I see with my kids, but I'm playing my phone, my mind is somewhere else, thinking about work, thinking about business and so on. I'm not in the now. Right? But after anxiety, that thing changed. So when I spend time with my kids, I really spend time with them. Right? I put my phone away. I don't do anything. I just sit there and play with them. Right? So I'm in the now. If I go to vacation or holiday with them, I be there on the beach playing together with them. You know what I mean? So I don't think about business. I don't think about work. It's just like me and them. All right. So it's in the now. Appreciate the moment, enjoying the moment together. Right? Prior to anxiety, that won't happen. All right. And during anxiety, it's even more worse. So that's why I say if you can train your mind to look at the bright side of it, right? To change the perspective of how you look at it, basically anxiety can make you a better person. To be honest with you, after I got anxiety, after I know how to manage my anxiety, I'm a lot way better than how I was before I got anxiety. Okay, and again, as I said, to train your brain, to train your mindset, it takes time. It's not going to be a day task, alright? It's going to be maybe not a week, maybe months, maybe years, alright? It takes time, but do it slowly, small step, but consistent, okay? And because of that, if you can get that, right? If you can get that, then you can, give the quality of life, right? You can like get a quality of your life back. Okay, so yeah, I talk about training the mindset, but I didn't talk about how to do it yet. All right, yeah, maybe in the future episode, all right, if I got time, I will keep sharing to you guys. And then, as I mentioned in the previous episode, whatever that I share, if it's beneficial to you, please try it. All right, like I said, small step but consistent. Please try it, and then if it works, share it to other people that you know that might need this. All right. And again, the most important thing is, if you or anyone that you know having a mental health issue, please bring them to get help. All right, bring them to get help before it's too late. And if you don't have any mental illness or mental health issues, and you know someone that have it, please stop the stigma of mental health. All right, because of that, because of the stigma, people are scared. People are scared to to talk to others about their mental health. Right? People are afraid. Because of the stigma. So please stop the stigma, because of mental illness is real. All right, and with the current situation, the pandemic, the corona, the COVID-19, and the economy situation, I believe the mental health issue will be increased. All right, just recently happened in my country. Right, there's one guy suicide, right, because of they lost the job and so on. Like I said, if there's no stigma, all right, if there's no stigma, maybe he can get help and so on. But because of the way that you look at it and so on, it makes some people afraid to go get help. All right, so please, okay. Yep. So by that, I would like to say thank you to everyone that watching the video or listening to the podcast. All right. So yes, till we meet again. Thank you very much.